took those more mature themes in the character realm. Here are the hero classes you can see. And in Diablo 2, we kind of expanded on that. So with the Diablo 1 heroes, you know, we had some morally gray characters. Well, in Diablo 2, what you see with the Necromancer and the Assassin, I mean, those names right there are downright mean. I mean, in some cases, those could actually be enemies in a game, not just a hero class. And so that's really what we loved to think about was, you know what, this universe is extremely harsh. This is a place that if you're walking down the street, you have the chance to run into a demon or a character or a creature that could kill you at any instant. What kind of a hero is going to exist in those worlds? So from a philosophical standpoint, that's where we started. Kind of, that's the inspiration that we wanted to start with, was just that dark overtone of the universe. So that brings us to kind of how we approached the Diablo 3 design. You can see we have some concepts of the Barbarian. And this is actually the Barbarian from the Diablo 2 universe. He's the same character. And you can see that we're keeping a lot of those same philosophies. The sharp armor, I mean, if this guy moves in the wrong way, he's going to impale himself, you know, but that's just extra protection for the harsh environment that these guys live in. You know, this is just the day-to-day life that these guys have to lead. So talking about the Barbarian specifically and updating a classic, you know, this was really exciting for us. This was an opportunity to take just a classic character that we all love to play and just bring him back to life. You know, I mean, what's this dude been up to for the last 20 years? As Leonard was saying, this guy's 8 feet tall, 300 pounds of pure muscle, you know, and he saw some stuff in Diablo 2 that, you know, would kill most people. So, you know, giving him a little bit of age, kind of graying his hair down, making him look a little more matted. And then he's got these big gnarly scars on him and all sorts of craziness going on like that. So for us, when we were talking with Leonard and what Jay wanted to accomplish from the design side, we kind of pulled all that stuff together with, you know, what we wanted to accomplish by selling the story visually. And it's those scars, it's that gray hair, it's how that armor, you know, kind of lands on his body, things like that really help us tell the story visually. And then the Witch Doctor. So this is our brand new class that we're really excited to announce here. And for Diablo 3, you know, like I was saying, the heroes are a little bit of a morally gray kind of area from a visual standpoint. We wanted them to be that guy that you're not quite sure if you like him or not. You're not quite sure if he's a happy guy, if he's nice or whatever. So the Witch Doctor for us is really where we went to town. Like, this guy is basically just a grizzled old, you know, vet. He's been out there. He's been through so many battles. He is just an old man. He's hunched over. You know, he is a great example of a contrast to the Barbarian. He's old and frail. This guy is not going to go out there and start smashing dudes over the head with a hammer. You know, what this guy is all about, he's learned the tricks. He's been there. He's been hit in the head. He knows he doesn't like it. So what he does is he goes out there and he says, hey man, I'm just going to mess with their heads from now on. And he starts throwing powders in their face. He starts messing with people's minds so they fight against each other. He summons zombie hordes to fight for himself. And so when we approach this guy, I mean, what kind of a character do you have to be in order to summon a wall of zombies for you? You know, like, that's what we want. Like, that's his driving force is, I'm protected by the undead, right? But he needed to be different enough from the old classes in, like, the Necromancer from Diablo 2 and give him a fresh take. So visually, you know, he's much more stunning. He's just this big, vibrant plumes of feathers to scare off his enemies. His face mask is designed in a way to actually be very dark and brooding looking. You know, even though he's this frail old man underneath, when you see him for the first time, he actually presents this massive kind of structure in front of you because of the extra plumage on his face mask, because of the dark look on the face of the mask. And that's really kind of what he's all about, is just messing with your mind so that he doesn't get hit physically.
All right. Thank you, Brian. One of the things we decided to do in Diablo 3 that's different from, a little bit different from Diablo 2 and the first Diablo game is we expanded their voice. And in the first two games, they had limited voice. They would tell you when your inventory was full. They might comment on a situation or, you know, say, you know, rest in peace when they put a soul down. But since we were going with very specific individuals with specific personalities, we felt that the best way to represent that was to define them through their voices, to give them very identifiable voices that really kind of drive who they are as characters. In that that helps reinforce their personalities and can change over their character arc as well, is another aid to helping us tell the story. Now, and another thing you saw in the demo yesterday was that we have a new conversation system. In the previous games, it was all monologues, and our little equation here is conversations are better than monologues, and monologues are longer. Even if it's the same number of words, a monologue can feel twice as long. It's not the best way to get information to have somebody just talk at you. It's a much quicker, easier, more entertaining device to have a conversation where your character comes to the table knowing certain things maybe the player doesn't know, but things that can be revealed through a conversation. It's much more interesting. It gives you a sense of discovering things as a player. We can also give your player a history your character a history that the player doesn't necessarily have to know about, that can be discovered throughout the game. This way we can create backgrounds for your characters. Characters from your people from your character's past can come back to haunt him. We can bring in class quests that could be very interesting. Each class will have different views of the story, which will be played out through these conversations, and it just basically makes it more interesting. I think the bottom line beyond all this is it really gives us a way to put the hero that you're playing at the center of the story. Your hero can drive the story as opposed to being an errand boy. You can decide what is the best thing to do. The villagers can be cowardly and not say, you need to go fight this. You could suggest, we need to go fight this, we need to do this, I need to take this situation under control because no one else can take care of it. It really puts you at the center of the action and gives you a decisive role in that. And I think that's what's going to make the character more of a hero feel. And with that, we go to Jay Wilson, I believe?
Oh, that would be me. We did rehearse, I promise. There's a lot of slides. We forget what order they come in. So what I'm going to talk now is the next step in creating a character class, which is what we call signature skills. And essentially, signature skills are where we bring the design and the art together. So we focus on a small set of skills. We pick something really cool to work on, and basically focusing on defining what that character is all about. Now, when we start working on a character and coming up with skills, it's really easy to come up with, we probably sit in a room and come up with 100 skills. Coming up with ideas for them is not hard. But we don't decide we're going to make 100 skills. We decide, okay, well, what's one that's really cool and really defining for us? So we pick the one that we like the most, that we think is the most descriptive of those characters, and that's the skill we go with. When we do that, it's really important. We have kind of one of our sayings, which is on the slide, which is don't balance too soon. The goal here is not to create a skill that we feel is going to make for really balanced, fair gameplay. The point of this is to make a skill that is going to make people go, whoa, that was really awesome. And sometimes really awesome is easily edited when you're talking too much about balance too soon. And I don't mean to trivialize balance. Balance is really important, and we've always placed a lot of importance on balance, but it comes at a certain phase, and the beginning is not where it comes. At the beginning, you're just trying to make every single hero as awesome as you can possibly do. One of the things that actually, kind of a cool thing that happens is as we work on each new hero, we have a little bit of an arms race where the next hero is even a slightly more awesome, so then we go back and make the first hero even a little more awesome. So that's kind of a fun back and forth, but it just makes the characters better and better over time. So focusing on a couple of these signature skills, the first one is the Barbarian. Seismic Slam. This is basically a skill where the Barbarian raises a weapon above his head, slams it on the ground, and essentially anything in kind of a cone in front of him gets just kind of rocked and destroyed.